Brother Tufel, very quickly over to you before we go on the break. And then after the break, we'll be coming back to Age UK and Shelter to know more about exactly, well, in fact, really want to put this question first to Age UK before we go on the break. I'll come back to you after the break. There's a tendency to think that a lot of these responsibilities are upon the state. However, the reality is Age UK or Age Concern and Help the Aged have been around many, many years. And the need for such organisations, including Shelter, is undoubtedly there. There's an unmet need that's being fulfilled. If you could just tell us a little bit about the history and realistically how many people do, it's probably a question you can't answer, but how many people do you think Age Concern and Age UK, Help the Aged, have actually reached out to over the years?
I can tell you how many people we reached last year. We probably helped over 6 million people last year, and that's through all of the different services that we do, and it's through our local partners.
That's 10% of the UK population.
There's a lot of older people out there, and older people are a growing demographic as well. We know that it's increasing.
How many years has Help the Aged and Age Concern been around?
Age Concern actually started, I think, in about the 1920s, and it was going for a very long time. It used to be called something like the Older People's Welfare Committee, and it's one of those organisations that's changed with the times and kept growing. It's actually a partnership, as I said, with a lot of local Age UKs, and we also have Age Cymru, Age Scotland and Age Northern Ireland as well. So there's a really rich history there. We joined up with Help the Aged about 2 years ago and merged to become Age UK. So you've actually got sort of the history of two long-standing organisations working for older people. I wouldn't like to hazard a guess at how many people we've helped over the years, but it's a very large number. And of course, we involve a lot of local communities as well in the work that we do. Loads of the services that we run are actually delivered by volunteers. And that's really important, I think, because it's a really good way as well for older people to still be involved. So we have something like 500 charity shops across just in England, and a lot of the work in those charity shops is all done by older people or by other volunteers as well.
That all goes to corroborate the need for an organisation like that. If there wasn't a need, it wouldn't be an existing. And very quickly, same question to Shelter. I mean, how long has it been around, and how many people has it assisted over the years? It's probably a question you won't be able to answer.
Well, Shelter was founded in December the 1st, 1966.
Wow.
And has been helping people ever since then. We operate in England, Scotland and Wales. Every year, over 1 million people look at our website to get housing advice. We help about 100,000 people over the phone or face-to-face with housing advice, and 6,000 people a year are stopped from being evicted or made homeless as a result of our legal intervention. Sometimes if you go to court and you don't have a lawyer, there will be a Shelter lawyer there who will represent you.
Wow.
And if you're not represented, you have an 80% chance of being evicted. And if you are represented, you have an 80% chance of staying in your home. So it makes a huge difference if you get that advice when you need it most. And we also support, we focus very strongly on families to try and make sure that they can stay in their home and live in decent homes. So, you know, we've been going a long time, and we've helped a lot of people get homes in that time. You know, and our job won't be done until everybody has a decent home.
Fantastic.
And that would include it being a warm home.
We'll talk more about that after the break. Just to recap the discussion so far, we've got 3 organisations all coming here with expertise in their own field. Muslim Aid has worked within the community, within the heart of the community now for 26 years, grassroots level fundraisers, and I've seen them in action for many, many years. We've got Shelter and Age UK, both of which have a history long before any of us were born here, in fact. So it's a very, very old organisations, but all coming together to provide to the people around us that we probably don't quite easily notice that they're in need in the UK, something to depend upon this coming winter, inshallah. Discussion will continue after the break. Do stay with us, inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Indeed, welcome back to the Muslim Aid Warmth Heart Winter Campaign program today in partnership with Shelter and Age UK. Moving on our discussion, we've talked about the expertise that Muslim Aid, Shelter and Age UK bring to this campaign. Tufail, I'm going to come to you first. Muslim Aid has already done some work last year. Tell us what you were able to deliver last year.
Last year, we actually started the campaign very late. We started, I think it was late in January, if I'm not mistaken, but we still got good enough support from the community.
It was a very harsh winter last year.
It was a very harsh winter.
Right through to February
And
as well.
you know, very briefly, by all accounts, this winter is going to be even more harsher from what we understand, from what the forecasters are saying. But last year, through the support of the community, we were able to, and through our partners, Shelter UK and Age UK, we were able to reach 6,000 vulnerable people.
Right.
And that included distributing winter warmth packs, which are now available for £40. And these packs included things that we take for granted. I mean, when I read this, I just couldn't believe that these things, but they make such a huge difference. I saw a video earlier of a very dignified person receiving this, but receiving it with such, obviously receiving in a very gracious way, but you could see the happiness in their face receiving these gifts. And these packs include oil heaters, they maintain a comfortable living environment, electric mattress toppers, they regulate temperatures during the night, and obviously it can drop, thermal blankets, insulation for doors and windows, heavy duty curtains, electric kettles, blankets, woolly hats, gloves. And these things are desperately needed. I was reading another statistic earlier. 1.8 million pensioners live in fuel poverty, suffer from fuel poverty. Now, they spend 15% of their income on fuel. So they don't know whether to maintain heat or to eat. So it's a very desperate situation. And this is what people, we don't realise this.
6,000 people reached last year.
Yeah.
What's your target this year? How
a lot more. It all depends upon the community. I mean, we've got programs in place, and Hamid Bhai can talk about that in further detail, what the plans are.
Well, let's hear from Hamid Bhai.
This year, actually, as we mentioned, actually last year what happened, winter campaign is not something new to Muslim Aid. We used to have winter campaign since Muslim Aid's inception, but we used to concentrate on other poor countries.
Yeah, it was a lot of the work was international.
But last year, when we saw actually many people are dying here in this country, and then people are suffering, when we saw, then we thought, that what I explained earlier there, what is our responsibility? Can we sit idle there? Then we said, no, our trustees come forward. He said, no, we have responsibility to our home, so do something.
So what are the programs this year?
Immediately we actually partnered with the Age UK, and then we help these people. But this year, since we have started, because we start planning 6 months before, so this year actually we want to make it not threefold, not fourfold, more. As Brother Tufail mentioned, actually this is depending on our community response, but we have actually planned to make it at least 4 times more than last year. And not only the monetary help, this year we are planning at the same time, we are actually recruiting volunteers as well.
Right.
The people who don't have the capacity or who don't have the willingness, whatever, to give money, but they want to give their time, and they are most welcome as well. So we have actually planned to recruit volunteers as many as possible, so that we can send them to the poor people's house, or we could send them to the pensioners' house, old people's house, and then give them assistance. And at the same time, this £40 pack, as many people as possible. But we are actually planning to reach up to 25,000 people minimum. With the help of course, Shelter and Age UK, inshallah. This is actually with the pack, but with voluntary help, other help, we want to actually go minimum 100,000 people.
Even further than that, excellent. Tufail, your target this year through this campaign is £60,000.
Yes, sure.
That will actually help 25,000 people.
Inshallah.
Question both Age UK and Shelter. That's £60,000, and assisting those 25,000 people, how much of a positive impact does that really make?
I don't think you can underestimate what a difference it makes to an individual older person getting that kind of help from someone in their local community, it means it makes a real difference. And we know that last year that there was actually a drop in the excess winter deaths that were reported. So you can see that it makes a difference. I think it's really important that we keep going with this.
Even saving one life,
absolutely,
is saving humanity, saving mankind.
And I think where you can get volunteers involved as well. If you can't afford to give some money, but you can afford to give an hour of your time, that's a really powerful thing for you to do.
Fantastic. So 25,000 people being reached out with, especially with these winter warmer packs. How do you feel from Shelter's point of view that impacts on people?
Well, I mean, it's fantastic, and it's brilliant to hear what the other partners are doing as part of this programme. Our contribution is that we will be able to give advice to more people, so people who are in trouble, who are worried about their housing, will be able to get that advice, which can make such a difference to whether they're able to keep their home. And then the other thing that we'll be able to do is, and where every pound makes a difference, is we make grants to people to help them move into their home and when they've been homeless, to have a decent home when they move in. It might be buying a cooker or putting a carpet in or helping with insulation, making the home warmer. So really every pound makes a big difference, and it's great to be working in such a positive partnership and to see it making such progress.
Well, that just to remind our viewers once again, the difference of making that donation of, just £40, just £40, and giving a winter warmer pack, which includes the things that Tufel mentioned there, could possibly save somebody's life. Now, I look at the statistics in this way. There are over 500,000 Bangladeshis in this country, and this campaign isn't just for the Bangladeshi viewers, it's for the entire community. Muslim Aid is working across the community, the wider community. But even in just our small Bangladeshi community of 500,000 people, and that goes up to about 200,000 families, we're looking at a family collectively just giving £40 to support another person, perhaps somebody who's an aged person, perhaps somebody who's living on their own, to survive this winter. I'm going to put this appeal again through Bangla, through Barrister Hamid Azad, যে আসলে কিন্তু যদি আমরা চিন্তা করে দেখি যে আমাদের বাংলাদেশি পপুলেশন ব্রিটেনে প্রায় 500,000 মানুষ, প্রায় 200,000 ফ্যামিলি, কিন্তু একটা ফ্যামিলির জন্য £40 আসলে দেওয়া তো এত বড় কিছু না, বাট ইম্প্যাক্টটা কিন্তু বিশাল। এই বিষয়ে যদি আবার একটু বলেন।
না, আসলে এখানে বিষয়টা হচ্ছে যে আমরা যেটা আগে বলেছি, উইন্টারের সময় যেভাবে মানুষ সাফার করতেছে এবং মারা যাচ্ছে, এটা হচ্ছে কিছু বেসিক নেসেসিটি ফুলফিল না হওয়ার কারণে। এই বেসিক জিনিসটা যদি তারা পেয়ে যায়, তারা কিন্তু মৃত্যুর হাত থেকে বাঁচতে পারে, তারা কিন্তু একটা সুন্দর জীবন যাপন করতে পারে। এবং এই বেসিক জিনিসটার জন্য তাদের যেমন একটা কম্বল দরকার, একটা কম্বলের দাম কত, তাদের একটা হিটার দরকার, তাদের একটা ক্যাটল দরকার, এবং তাদের ঘরের মধ্যে এই যে একটু আগে আমরা অবশ্য এই ইয়ারে যাওয়ার আগে আমরা ইনফরমাল আলোচনা করতেছিলাম, যেটা যে একটা বুড়া মানুষ ঘরের মধ্যে কোনো ইনসুলেশনের ব্যবস্থা নেই, এটা না থাকার কারণে কিন্তু তারা কষ্ট পাচ্ছে। কেউ গিয়ে যদি এটা একটু ফিক্স করে দেয়, আই থিঙ্ক এইচইউকে হ্যাজ হ্যান্ডিম্যান প্রজেক্ট, এরকম হ্যান্ডিম্যান গিয়ে তাদের এটা ফিক্স করে দিচ্ছে, এটা ফিক্স করে দিলেই কিন্তু তার জীবনটা রক্ষা পেয়ে যায়। এই জন্য £40 আমাদের কাছে মনে হতে পারে এই অল্প পয়সা দিয়ে কি হবে, কিন্তু এই £40 দিয়ে একটা মানুষের জীবন রক্ষা করা যায়। এই £40 দিয়ে একটা মানুষকে একটা মারাত্মক রোগ থেকে বাঁচানো যায়। কারণ এই দেশে আমি এই দেশে যখন আসছি আজ থেকে 16 বছর আগে, তখন প্রথম একটা নসিহা আমি পেয়েছিলাম, এখানের শীত কিন্তু কিলার, উইন্টার ইজ ভেরি ডেঞ্জারাস, নিউমোনিয়া হয়ে গেলে তারপরে অনেকের কিন্তু অঙ্গ প্রত্যঙ্গ নষ্ট হয়ে যায়। আমার এক রিলেটিভের এরকম একটা ঠান্ডা, রাত্রে বসে বসে বই পড়তে পড়তে ঘুমিয়ে গেছে, এরপরে কানটা নষ্ট হয়ে গেছে, তাই না? তো এই ধরনের সিচুয়েশনে এই £40 এই সামান্য সহযোগিতা, একটা ব্ল্যাঙ্কেট যদি পায়, কিন্তু তারা এই ধরনের একটা জীবন এটা হরণকারী একটা ব্যাধি থেকে তারা কিন্তু বাঁচতে পারে। এই জন্য এই £40 সহযোগিতা, এটা কিন্তু £40,000 চেয়ে অনেক বেশি দামি। একটা £40 একজন লোকের কিন্তু হয়তো এই £2 লক্ষ দিয়ে একটা বাড়ি কিনতে পারলো, কিন্তু বাড়িটা কিনে ইনসুলেশনের ব্যবস্থা যদি না থাকে অথবা হিটার যদি না থাকে, তাহলে £2 লক্ষ বাড়ি থাকাটাই বৃথা। তাহলে from that perspective, this 40 pound is more important than the 200,000 pounds house.
Absolutely.
So এটা খুবই গুরুত্বপূর্ণ। এক্ষেত্রে আমি একটা বিষয় একটু শেয়ার করতে চাই। আমরা এখানে এই ক্যাম্পেইন শুরু করার আগে উইথ দ্য হেল্প অফ AGUকে আমরা গত বছর আমাদের যারা বেনিফিশিয়ারি ছিল তাদের কারো বাসা আমরা ভিজিট করেছি। ওয়ান অফ দ্য বেনিফিশিয়ারি যার এই ছবিটা মনে হয় আমাদের অ্যাডভার্টে দেখানো হয়, সেই মহিলাটা গত সপ্তাহে মারা গেছে। অসম্ভব বৃদ্ধ একটা মহিলা, হ্যাঁ। এবং সে মারা যাওয়ার খবরটা যখন আমাদের কাছে আসছে, আমরা তখন কনসার্ন হয়ে গেছি যে তার যে ছবিটা, উনি কিন্তু আমাদেরকে পারমিশন দিয়েছে হ্যাপিলি যে আমার ছবিটা তোমরা ব্যবহার করো। এখন আমরা কনসার্ন হয়ে গেলাম এই ছবিটা আমরা ব্যবহার করতে পারবো কিনা। দেন আমরা কন্ট্যাক্ট করেছি AGUকের মাধ্যমে ওই ফ্যামিলির সাথে। ফ্যামিলি থেকে তখন আমাদেরকে যোগাযোগ করে গেভ আস এ রিটেন পারমিশন, যে বিকজ যে গত বছর তোমরা যে সাহায্য করেছিলে আমাদেরকে বলছে, এই সাহায্যের কারণে সে এত বেশি বেনিফিট হয়েছে, সে এত বেশি কৃতজ্ঞ হয়েছে, সে জীবদ্দশায় কিন্তু বারবার মুসলিম এইডের কথা বলতো, এবং এই জন্য তার কৃতজ্ঞতাবোধ দেখে আমরা ফ্যামিলি মেম্বার যারা বেঁচে আছি, আমরা এখন দায়িত্ব মনে করছি তোমাদেরকে জানানো যে তোমরা এই ছবিটা ব্যবহার করো। তাইলে চিন্তা করে দেখেন এই মহিলাটার জীবনে 40 পাউন্ড কত বড় পরিবর্তন এনে দিয়েছিল এবং প্রভাব ফেলেছিল।
এই ক্রিসমাসের সময় হয়তো আমরা 40 পাউন্ড এক্সট্রা খরচ করে ফেলবো, বিভিন্ন সেলে গিয়ে 40 পাউন্ড চলে যাবে।